The mid-'80s was an incredibly exciting time for the Asian American communities in the United States. Many of us who were admitted to practice law in the mid-'80s really fed on that momentum and that excitement.
Each of us probably individually felt some sort of need to sort of get together with other APA attorneys, sort of professionally, at least initially, just to network, to share our experiences, because I think we all felt we were somewhat isolated.
What was the market like 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago? It was about non-existent because we had just a handful of people that had been established here in Denver. Only very few of them had become partners in their firms.
Being an attorney is ultimately a people profession, and those interpersonal relationships are key. And that was something that Asian attorneys really lacked, the opportunities to get to know other APAs in the profession and build those professional relationships and those personal relationships.
I was at a minority women's lawyers conference. It was the first of its kind. And at that conference, I met Lucy Denson and Lana Iwasaki, and I didn't even know there were other women, Asian attorneys practicing out there.
The people who started APABA really had a vision. They had really had a vision that our APA community and our attorneys would be able to give opportunities to people who came behind us, and I think that's our obligation.
There's a lot of students out there that for their families, they're the first to go to college, not to mention law school. We're trying to show them, you know, there's a bunch of us that have done this. You know, you can do it also.
I think we knew intuitively that together the APA attorneys in Colorado could really be something much more than we ever could be individually.
The real plus in having a group like the Asian Bar Association is that there really is a lot of good you can do when you have some mass behind you.
We really got together initially because we wanted to share some camaraderie and friendship and probably some common experiences. But in getting together, all these other things evolved. As
Asian American attorneys, we have a particular responsibility to advance the interests of the community as a whole and also to serve APAs and the individual needs that they have.
I can remember when we first got together, passing the hat and not even coming up with $50 for our treasury. And now we have an APABA foundation that distributes thousands of dollars every year.
We started APABA as the Bar Association back in 1990. And then after we had a couple of fundraising events, we decided to set up a foundation because we thought that would be a better vehicle to continue to raise funds. And then we started to see really some purposes where the monies could really be used well.
The mission of the APABA Foundation is to raise and distribute funds for the education of the Asian Pacific American communities in Colorado.
We saw it in terms of scholarships for law students, charitable projects we could be doing. So we thought that the best thing to do would be to set up a foundation, making it easier to raise monies with all of our different events.
It's something that none of us ever dreamed possible, certainly not myself.
Over the past 5 years, the APABA Foundation has distributed over $75,000 to various organizations. That includes teaming up with Anheuser-Busch to sponsor scholarships for law students from the University of Denver College of Law and the University of Colorado School of Law every year. And we fund various community events, including naturalization drives. And we also encourage high school students to apply to college. And we help facilitate meetings between local universities and colleges and Asian Pacific American high school students in the Denver metro area.
APABA is so important to the community now because we are involved in so many public service aspects, helping the needy, people who don't have any food, people with limited resources, people who need legal services who can't otherwise afford it.
Our funding and our volunteer hours make a difference because we help nurture tomorrow's leaders.
Oh, I think one of the proudest moments was the first time we could really write a big check to the Asian Pacific Development Center for their youth camps.
The Youth Strengthening Youth Program is a program for developing leadership in Asian high school students, but it also emphasizes creating a community of Asian youth.
I've gone to the camp 3 times now, and each time is like the greatest thing ever. It like really makes my year.
I've gained a lot of new friendships, I think, like The friends that I even hang out with now on a daily basis, like those are mostly friends from the program, and I've never felt so connected to people before in my life.
With the kids, like, wow, we've never realized that we could do these things. And it just shows that they are seeing themselves as leaders.
The world that I think all of us strive for is to move from being just a diverse world to more of an inclusive world. Moving from just acknowledging differences to appreciating differences, to realizing that difference is valuable.
And I think ultimately APABA really is about inspiring each other and inspiring the students that come behind us and inspiring our communities.
All these folks were just so helpful to me as just starting out, because I was just a green young rookie attorney not knowing anything, and they reached out with some helping hands. And I think that's what's the important lesson that we've learned from our Asian mentors, is that we need to give back and help others just as we've been helped ourselves.
You never want to think that you did this all on your own. It never comes all on your own. It's always through the efforts of a lot of others that you achieve whatever success you have.
To the visionaries who helped found APABA 20 years ago, you started the work that opened up doors for so many of us. And it's our job to open those doors a little wider. While we can never fully pay you back, we pledge to pay it forward. Thank you.